There's a dark dynamic that unfolds within narcissistic families, something most people never quite manage to clearly identify. It's a psychological game so subtle, so meticulously crafted, that the victim often spends decades believing they truly are the problem. Have you ever wondered why you were always treated as the different one, the problem child, the difficult one in the family? Why were your achievements never celebrated, but your mistakes amplified to the extreme? Why did you constantly feel emotionally indebted to people who were supposed to love you unconditionally? Carl Jung, the pioneer of depth psychology, dedicated his life to unraveling the hidden mechanisms of the human psyche. He knew that behind every destructive family dynamic lies an ancient archetypal pattern, a collective shadow that perpetuates through generations. And one of Jung's most unsettling discoveries was understanding how certain families choose one member to carry all the darkness they can't face. The family narcissist is like a dark sun. They demand that everyone orbits around their emotional void, but they need someone specific to dump all their unintegrated shadow onto. That someone becomes the scapegoat. And today you'll discover exactly how this manipulation happens, how it was implanted in your psyche, and most importantly, how to recognize each trick to finally break free from this invisible prison. But what Jung discovered about the narcissist's projected shadow completely changes how you'll view your own family history. Look into the mirror of your childhood now. How many times were you blamed for the emotional outbursts of those who should have protected you? How many times did you hear phrases like, "You're making me nervous. I'm like this because of you. If you hadn't done that, I wouldn't have to yell"? How many times did you swallow your own pain to soothe the narcissistic wound of someone who should have been taking care of you? Do you recognize yourself in these questions? It's because you were chosen to be the repository of the family shadow. While your siblings might have been spared, coddled, or ignored, you became the preferred target for all the anger, frustration, and self-destructiveness that your narcissistic parents couldn't process internally. Observe how this shaped you. How many times did you self-sabotage in relationships because you unconsciously believed you didn't deserve true love? How many times did you wear the mask of the good kid, the helpful one, the never complainer, just to try and win a love that would never come? How many times did you completely erase yourself so as not to cause trouble? Your true self whispers now. As long as you accept carrying someone else's shadow, your own light remains hidden. As long as you wear the scapegoat's mask, your true strength cannot emerge. As long as you blame yourself for family toxicity, you perpetuate the cycle. Do you recognize this cutting pain? It's because you were programmed by a sick family system, where your role wasn't to be loved but to absorb all the darkness no one else wanted to face. And today, you'll understand exactly how this mechanism works, and how to break these invisible chains once and for all. To understand how you became the family scapegoat, first you need to grasp the psychological nature of the family narcissist. From a Jungian perspective, the narcissist is someone who lives completely disconnected from their true self, a prisoner of an inflated persona that hides a deep void and a gigantic shadow they cannot recognize as their own. Imagine the narcissist as a dark sun. They shine a false light demanding that everyone orbits around them, but their true nature is total darkness. They constantly need external validation to sustain their illusion of grandiosity, but at the same time, they need to project all their shadow, their fears, insecurities, anger, shame, onto someone close. The scapegoat, in this dynamic, becomes the guardian of the family shadow. They are the one who carries everything the narcissistic family cannot integrate: the pain, imperfection, vulnerability, genuine anger. While the narcissist maintains their mask of perfection, the scapegoat absorbs all the toxicity and is constantly blamed for it. This is an ancient archetypal pattern. Jung knew that certain family dynamics reproduce primitive rituals where the tribe chose a member to carry all the sins and then expelled them to purify the group. The family narcissist does exactly this, but in a psychological and continuous way. They use the scapegoat as an emotional dumping ground to keep their own image intact. The first trick is the inversion of emotional reality. The narcissist possesses an almost supernatural ability to distort the perception of reality, making their emotional outbursts always seem like justified reactions to the scapegoat's behavior. It's as if they live in a parallel universe where they are always the victim and you are always the aggressor. Observe how this works. When the narcissist is having an emotional meltdown, yelling, breaking things, or making threats, They immediately find something you did or failed to do to justify their loss of control. You made me this way. I'm nervous because of you. If you hadn't done that, I wouldn't have to yell. Reality completely inverts. The dysregulated adult becomes the innocent victim, and the child or family member becomes responsible for their emotional instability. This inversion is so constant and systematic that you begin to internalize that you truly are responsible for others' emotions. Your child psyche, which naturally seeks explanations for family chaos, accepts this narrative because it's less terrifying to believe you have control over the situation than to accept you are at the mercy of an emotionally unstable adult. The second trick is the amplification of your mistakes and the minimization of theirs. The narcissist possesses a distorted emotional lens that acts as a microscope for your flaws and an inverted telescope for their own. Any mistake you make, no matter how small, is amplified to the extreme and used as evidence that you are fundamentally problematic. Did you forget to do something? That becomes proof that you are irresponsible and cannot be trusted. Did you express a different opinion? That becomes evidence that you are rebellious and disrespectful. Did you have a normal emotional reaction to some abuse? That becomes confirmation that you are unstable and aggressive. Every small slip-up of yours is filed away in the narcissist's memory as ammunition for future accusations. Meanwhile, the narcissist's own mistakes are systematically minimized, justified, or completely denied. They might yell at you for hours, publicly humiliate you, break your things in moments of anger, but all of this is treated as normal reactions or natural consequences of your problematic behavior. The asymmetry is striking. You are judged by the standards of a saint while they allow themselves behaviors they wouldn't tolerate from anyone else. The third trick is the most devastating of all: family triangulation. The narcissist never attacks alone. They always use other family members as accomplices, creating a dynamic where you feel completely isolated and surrounded. It's as if they are a maestro conducting an orchestra of rejection, where each family member plays a different note in the same symphony of blame. It works like this. The narcissist tells their distorted version of events to other family members, always painting themselves as the victim and you as the aggressor. They use phrases like, "Look what David did to me. Did you see how he treated me? I can't take this behavior anymore." Gradually, they construct a family narrative where you are seen as the central problem of the family. The other members, who might even perceive that something is wrong, prefer to agree with the narcissist rather than becoming the next target. It's safer to throw you under the bus than to face narcissistic wrath, so you find yourself completely alone, questioning your own sanity, because everyone around you seems to agree that you are indeed the problem. The fourth trick is selective amnesia combined with history rewriting. The narcissist possesses a memory that functions like a professional editor. They cut, edit, and rewrite past events to always emerge as the hero or victim of the story. Moments where they were cruel, abusive, or unfair simply disappear from the official family narrative, while any reaction of yours to these abuses is magnified and eternalized. Do you clearly remember being humiliated, yelled at, or unfairly punished? To the narcissist, that never happened, or if it did, it was for your own good, or because you deserved it. Do you remember your achievements being ignored or sabotaged? In the narcissist's version, they always supported you, and you were the ungrateful and hard-to-please one. This constant rewriting of history makes you question your own memory and perception of reality. It's systematic gaslighting that undermines your trust in your own experience. You start to think, am I remembering wrong? Did it really happen that way? And this constant doubt about your own perception of reality is exactly what the narcissist needs to maintain control. The fifth trick is the engineering of perpetual guilt. The narcissist creates a system where you are eternally in emotional debt to them, always owing more than you can pay. It's as if they are an emotional loan shark who charges infinite interest for everything they did for you. And in their mind, simply existing in their presence is an immense favor you should be grateful for forever. They use phrases like, "After everything I've done for you, you should be grateful. I sacrificed so much for you, and this is how you repay me." Any attempt of yours to set boundaries, express needs, or simply exist with autonomy is interpreted as ultimate ingratitude and unforgivable betrayal. The most perverse part is that this emotional debt can never be paid off. No matter how much you strive to please, how much you sacrifice or erase yourself, There will always be something more you should do. There will always be some way you are being insufficient or disrespectful. It's a system designed to keep you eternally submissive and guilty. The sixth and final trick is the most sophisticated, the alternation between conditional love and total rejection. The narcissist is never consistently cruel. That would be too easy to identify and reject. Instead, they alternate between moments of love and approval, always conditioned on your good behavior, and periods of coldness, criticism, and total rejection. This alternation creates what psychologists call a trauma bond. You become addicted to the rare moments of narcissistic approval because they contrast so strongly with the periods of rejection. It's like an emotional slot machine that gives you occasional and random prizes, keeping you always waiting for the next dose of validation. In moments of love, the narcissist might even admit they were too harsh with you, that you didn't deserve that treatment. But this never comes with a real change in behavior. It's just a way to keep you hooked in the cycle. Soon after, any small mistake of yours results in even more intense rejection, as if you had betrayed the second chance they generously gave you. Now that you know all 6 tricks, how do you begin to free yourself from this programming? The first wound to examine is that of your inner child, that part of you that internalized all these distorted messages about your worth and your place in the world. Grab a journal and start an honest dialogue with that wounded child. Ask them, what did you need to hear in those moments of humiliation? What protection would you have liked to receive? What truths about yourself were suffocated by the family narrative? Write the answers without censorship. Let the pain and anger surface. The next step is what Jung called the withdrawal of projections. Begin to separate what is truly yours, your feelings, your needs, your natural reactions, from what was deposited in you by the narcissistic family system, the guilt, the shame, the responsibility for others' emotions. When you feel that automatic guilt arising, pause and ask, is this guilt truly mine or is it something I was taught to carry? Practice the exercise of observation without absorption. When in the presence of the family narcissist, if you still are, observe the dynamics unfolding as if you were an anthropologist studying a tribe. See the tricks being applied, but don't absorb them emotionally. Think, now he's using the reality inversion trick, or now she's trying to triangulate me with my sibling. Lastly, begin to honor your own perception of reality. Your memories are valid. Your emotions are valid. Your pain is real and justified. You are not crazy. You are not being dramatic. You are not being ungrateful. You were systematically manipulated by people who should have protected you, and recognizing this